Hi guys, it's Sebastian here from Noble Frugal Studio, and first of all, I love creating characters. Bringing my drawings to life and seeing them walk, talk, and interact with the environment just makes them feel real, no matter how fictional they seem. Now, the 12th principle of animation is appeal, that a character should look somewhat interesting to the audience in order to gain their attention. And the best way to do this, which a lot of professional animators and artists will tell you, is to create your characters using a variety of shapes. So if we can just get started here, we're gonna start making our character, and we're just gonna use a very boring shape. Let's try a rectangle. So our character is made off a rectangle. It's going to be pretty predictable and not very interesting. Now, what does look interesting to me, which when you're designing characters, you want to go through iterations. You want to make multiple versions and try out things to see what you don't like and don't like. What does look interesting to me is this square looking head. And that's sort of appealing to me. And appeal can be anything that you just find interesting about a character. So what I find interesting is this square looking head. So we're going to bring that over to our redesign, and let's keep that square looking head, but instead of the torso being like a rectangular shape, let's actually make it a triangular shape, and we're using a variety of shapes. Now you can use many more, but for this starter one I'm just going to use 2. So maybe a triangle. So now he already looks a little bit better. Let's make his arms sort of triangular shape too. Now we got something out of a superhero comic. Boxman. Now this is actually really good. I do like the design is already more appealing, but one thing we can do just to suit this triangular shape is to flatten the head a little bit. Now actually no, that doesn't make it look better. I think I like this better, honestly. Now this character is still valid. It's just if that's what you're looking for, like a sort of two-dimensional, just a blocky person, maybe even the arms are just like even skinnier than that, they can just go like that. If that's what you're looking for. That's still a valid character design. If you're looking for a kind of bland, sort of boring looking something, or just something in a blocky kind of style. But this has a more dynamic design due to the width of the top of the triangle, and the skinniness at the bottom has some more contrast, and definitely does look a little more interesting. And what you guys will learn is that you can do this really with any shape that you want. So if we can just erase this here, that's my brush tool. Let's go to the eraser and get rid of this. If we can just erase this here, then we can try a very, almost like a more complex shape, saying like a lamp shape, a shape of a lamp. So you can do this shape of a lamp. This shape of a lamp will produce a character that has, like, let's make their face a circle, like maybe like sharp hair like that. Just draw their face real quick, and they have a really skinny body, and they have really big feet. That is something, like, see, as you can really use anything to your advantage. See, the shape of a lamp can produce a still really interesting looking character. And now the audience has something appealing to look at and observe what you make them doing during the animation, which is really, really cool. Like, you can use many shapes. Like, I just got that one off of an actual object. One of the things I did in my notebook, before we move on, I did an apple. See what kind of character I can make an apple off of. And what I did, I made a character that was sort of very wide. I made a very wide character with the head's in the middle, but then the apple shape comes out with his hair. It's sort of in a widow's peak, like this. And his eyes are right here. It's a kind of crabby looking dude right here. And he's got big old pants like this. See, so already sort of interesting looking characters. So before we move on, let me just give this guy the tie. I don't know. whatever you guys want. And so I know with animation there are very different styles, and some of them stemming more from realism, such as Japanese animation and anime and stuff like that. So you don't have to abandon this strategy completely. You can use it, but just in a different way. What you can do is that, let's take the same lamp shape that we did last time, right? Let's take this one, and we'll make the same lamp shape, but instead of making the entire body the shape of a lamp, let's just make it the head. So this will give us a character with like a big forehead. Let me draw the eyes real quick. A big looking forehead, so his eyes are kind of farther apart. very narrow looking nose, and a wide sort of mouth. Now this isn't exactly that much from realism, but it's a little more realistic than, you know, the lady we drew before that had the you know, sort of lamp shape. And this is a little more realistic, and so you can still get good results with using this, but you don't have to use it to the extreme all the time. And you see, realistic characters aren't made up of different shapes, just more shapes. So you would use the lamp shape for his head and maybe an apple shape for his body to make, you know, a really weird looking kind of person. Well, it depends on how much you exaggerate it, but that's sort of the point I want to make. Now, if you do have more realistic styles, guys, your animation workload will go up exponentially, which is sometimes a downside for beginners. So I recommend for you animators out there to find the workload that suits you and that you can work with. But for beginners, I recommend, you know, going the simple route, making simple shapes so you can get into the style and flow of animation and be successful. And on that point of drawing, like, 'cause you're going to be drawing characters a bunch of times, and on that point is I feel that it's really important to love and, you know, care for the personalities of the characters that you make. I think it's like, they are people after all, and I think it's going to be difficult in the future to animate someone that you just genuinely do not care one bit about. Genuinely just don't you don't give a crap about them, excuse my language. But and I think it's important to know them and, you know, kind of like them in a certain way, along with make sure you like them and not just the audience. Maybe you're making a character for a show, make sure you like that character as well as the audience does. And I'm struggling with this too when in my creating of Castle Dark, the animated series I was planning for 2018, because my character Pi, he sort of lacks that sort of depth that I want in a character. He lacks any personality at all because I haven't really worked it out yet, and that makes me discouraged because I don't really like Pi at all. I need to add some personality, some charisma, that some way that the story will interact with him, and it won't just be dragging this character around. Your character has to have personality and change the story in some sort of way. And with that, the word animate means to give life to, and there's so much more to life than just movement across the screen. That's pretty much all I have for today, guys. Some couple outro notes that I have for you guys. Discord link is in the description. Please join the Noble and Frugal OpenToonz Discord, so where we can chat and you can showcase your art, you can ask questions, and I'm pretty active on there, so I'll always see things that get posted. So make sure to join that if you want to chat with me. And that's pretty much it for that. Another thing I wanted to mention was the channel is growing really fast. Thank you guys so much for the support you've been giving me. I really do appreciate it. We're almost to 1,000. I think we're at 740, and that's really exciting. So I'm thinking for 1,000 subscribers, I might do an animation reel, because I never really made and posted a lot of animations. So I'm thinking about doing that for 1,000 subscribers. So I look forward to that. Also, I think I'm going to start this thing called Hook Me Up, where I just mentioned something in the back where if you guys know anything about it, you can just leave a comment about it. I need a way to make my own, like a software that I can make music in that's not necessarily like electronic music. I'm looking for more like acoustic stuff, piano things. I just can't find a reliable software that I can really do that sort of thing and see that it works too. So if you guys have any information on that, definitely leave a comment, and I thank you so much for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.